Welcome to Brick by Brick. Join me, Lauren Winnett, as I share my personal journey of building a thriving real estate and hard money lending business from the ground up. Along the way, we'll explore the strategies, challenges, and breakthroughs that come with growing wealth. Whether you're a seasoned investor or aspiring entrepreneur, or simply curious about the world of private lending and real estate, this podcast is packed with actionable insights, real-world stories, and mindset tips to help you build your own path to success brick by brick. So today, we're going to talk about why get-rich-quick businesses never work. So we've all been there. We're just starting out as entrepreneurs, or maybe we're even been entrepreneurs for a while, and there's an opportunity that comes up that just seems so good. We're going to do this thing. It's going to be very little work. It's going to be very little input of money, and it's going to return these huge amounts of cash to us. It's very easy to get Excel or Google Sheets to create you a model that shows this beautiful hockey stick where you put this little bit of time and effort into it, and over the course of time, it is huge amount of money. Pretty soon I'm going to be pulling in $10 billion a year, if things just extrapolate the way this Excel sheet says it's going to. Those things never work out the way they think you think they're going to. And there's a few reasons for that. First, the people that think that they're going to get rich quick doing that kind of thing, they always, and I am guilty of this numerous times, they always underestimate the amount of work that it's going to take to get from point A to point B. They underestimate the amount of complexity that they're going to have to deal with in order to get from point A to point B. They are missing some key piece of information about the market, about the product, about something that is going to become a major roadblock for them, or they are missing a massive skill set that is needed in order to maybe not even get that full hockey stick of growth, but even just getting from point A to, somewhere where it's very profitable. And the last piece is most of the people that are looking for a get rich quick scheme are not the people that are going to put the work in. When you're an entrepreneur, there is a model of basically you get really excited about this new opportunity. The sky is the limit. You're just going to make so much money, you're not going to know what to do with yourself. And there's a lot of energy and a lot of excitement around starting it and about building it. And you get that LLC filed and you get the website up and you do all the things to get going. But then once you get into it, you start realizing all the little nuances of the business, of the industry that you're in, that you didn't realize were there before, right? You went in very ignorant, and as you become more knowledgeable of the issue, of the market, of the product, then you start seeing, this is why there aren't more people doing this. This is why, I can't, all my assumptions, or a lot of my assumptions when I came in here are now faulty. And they start basically going into this cone of depression. That's what it's called, where they start saying, this isn't going to work. This is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. This is going to take a lot more time. This is going to take a lot more money. And even if it's a good idea, even if it's a good product in a good market that could be very profitable, a lot of times that disappointment of thinking it's going to be this quick get rich quick scheme and realizing it's not makes them just shut down. And this, being entrepreneurs, we're always looking for something else. We like the excitement. We like starting new things. And then we start getting into the kind of the grind phase where you have to work really hard to keep things going, to make it grow, to get to the next level. And a lot of times entrepreneurs, they start looking for other things. This is what you hear a lot, shiny object syndrome. So they start, I just wasn't exactly what I thought. It doesn't going to turn out the way I thought it was going to be. But this other thing looks like a huge opportunity, blue ocean opportunity. I'm going to make so much money. And they start shifting their focus to this new thing. And the old thing that they thought had so much energy into, they had so much excitement over, just kind of gets left behind. And at first, it might not be full abandonment of it. They might be like, well, I'll just spend 20% of my time on this new opportunity, and I'll get both of these opportunities to grow together, and then I'll see which one works out, and then I'll go there. Well, what happens is you're not putting your full effort into either of the two opportunities. And so neither of the opportunities get to grow as fast as they could grow. And so neither opportunities ever really turn out into anything. I experienced this firsthand. In 2023, we were buying rental properties left and right. We bought 50 some rental properties, all told, in 23. 22, 23. It was a lot. We were constantly buying, and we said, we also, some of these properties would be really good flips. So let's start a flipping business. So I had one LLC with rentals, and then we were managing that, doing all back end stuff on there. And then let's do the flipping side of things. So we got a crew stood up. We were, going in. We were doing some not just light flip jobs. We were fully gutting projects, relaying out houses. And when you're doing their flipping, not only do you have to run the numbers, but you have to manage the crews. And unless you're a full scale flipper with project managers on site, which is great if that's what you are. We weren't there yet. We got to babysit the crews a lot. And if you're not there, then they don't show up. So there's a whole lot of work there. And then we were doing that. And then then we were like, well, we also have some properties that we could flip, but we could also just wholesale and make a little bit of money. We were trying to shorten our cash conversion cycle. Rentals have a very high cash conversion cycle, meaning the amount of time it takes from the time you put money in till when you get money back out. Flips are much shorter, and wholesaling is even shorter. You're talking years, months, weeks. And so we said, well, let's start a wholesale business, and we can use the wholesale business to create leads. Then we'll take those leads and we'll either wholesale them or we'll flip them or we'll hold them as rentals. And we basically are trying to vertically integrate our entire business. The problem was we created basically 3 separate businesses that had 3 separate sets of books with 3 separate operations in them. And there was only 2 of us at the time working through that. And at the time, because I'm a glutton for punishment, I also came up with the idea for a double close funding business, a hard money lending business that would focus on wholesalers in basically all of the United States. And so I had that going. And so I had that same thought that a lot of people have of, I'm going to try to get all these going and see which one takes off. And then I'll shift my focus to the one that takes off. Well, what happens is I was also working a W-2 at the time. I had 4 kids. I had a wife and a house. My kids had sports, and there wasn't enough of me to go around. And so what happens is the companies that were being the least productive, they were also the newest companies, which probably were good companies we could have built, we could have grown them. I didn't have the time or the energy or the desire to put as much effort, much time, much thought into any of those. I didn't focus on those. And so they slowly died out. And so the wholesaling business, we shut down after 6 or 8 weeks. The flipping business only lasted about a year. And then the rental business, I finally got down to 2 businesses last year. And I had to make a decision. I said, which one do I want to go at? Because at that point, I had realized that if I want to become as successful as I aspire to be, I need to put all of my efforts, all of my focus on one company. And I need to grind that thing until it is so successful that I have hired enough people in the company that then I sit back and I am bored. At the point that I am so bored that I'm working 5 hours to 10 hours a week, then I can worry about a new company. But until then, I need to go all in. So I had to decide, which company do I want to go for? And it came down to, which one do I want to do in 10 years? It was about this time that I came to the conclusion that if I don't want to do something in 10 years, if I'm not enjoying it today and I don't want to do it in 10 years, then I should stop doing it now and focus on the thing that I do want to do. And what do I want to do in 10 years? What am I exceptionally good at? I am really good at talking to people. I am really good at structuring deals. I am really good at raising money. And I'm really good at process and operations. And so it became very clear to me that I did not like a lot of the rental aspects. I didn't like dealing with tenants. I didn't like the uncertainty of HVACs going out in the middle of summer, or HVAC's going out in the winter, or a tree falling on a house, or you got a nice set of cash flow coming in from a house. Maybe you've made $4,000 this year on a piece of property in cash. You can't touch that money because $4,000 and then the HVAC goes out. Suddenly you're $6,500 in. You're now negative $2,500 on the year. And so just the uncertainty of that and a lot of the turnover and things of that nature in rentals just wasn't what I was interested in doing. I love people that have rentals. I think it's great. I still have one rental of a triplex, but it's not something that I want to do large scale long term. Now, I love the lending space. I love talking to investors, and I love talking to borrowers, and I love structuring deals that help everybody win, right? And so I sold all my rentals to my business partner, and I went and focused all of my energy on my lending business. Now, at that same time, I also took a big leap of faith. I said, if I'm going to go all in on this, I'm going to go all in. So I had a 6-figure job. I'd been there for almost 10 years. And basically my position was eliminated because they eliminated all the people on my team's position and said, just find a new role within the company. And if you got 3 months to do that, and if you don't find a new role in 3 months, then you can leave the company. We'll pay you a severance. And everybody on my team scrambled, tried to find new roles within the company. And I talked to my wife, and we decided that this was the opportunity to go fully all in on my business. And so I took the severance package and left my W-2 job fully unemployed. And it has made such a huge difference in my business, going from 5 businesses or 4 businesses plus a W-2 to 1 business. We have accomplished more in the last 6 months than we did in the previous 18 months combined. Our business is growing like crazy. We're raising money. We're putting out loans. We put almost $1 million out this year already. And it's the 3rd week of January. We're not even fully 2 years old yet. And I anticipate growing by almost 300% from last year. And the only reason that is possible is because I am fully focused on one thing, and I don't have shiny object syndrome to go do another project or start a new business. We are fully in the grind mode. We are out of the sexy, this is the starting of it. We're going to start this. We're going to do all these things. I've got a new business. We're out of the sexy part. We are in the get up every morning and find new loans to originate, talk to new investors to raise new money, grind it out 5 to 6 days a week. And that's where we're going to be for the next couple years. And I'm okay with that. It is the least sexy portion of being an entrepreneur, but it is the difference between the entrepreneurs and the entrepreneurs that are successful is, can you consistently grind on one thing that has shown that it can produce market value? It can show that it can produce revenue, has shown that it can produce profit for a long enough period of time to make it successful. Can you learn along the way? Can you adjust along the way and make it better than what it could have been? Make it something. It is incredible, the feeling of taking an idea, a thought in your head, and turning it into something that produces 6 figures, 7 figures of revenue on an annual basis, just out of a thought, right? The power of our minds is incredible. So as you're looking around, especially if you're a new entrepreneur or a wantrepreneur, there's nothing wrong with being a wantrepreneur as long as you take action. As you're looking around, stay away from the get rich quick schemes. Those don't exist. If you see those, it is because there are nuances, there are market constrictions, there are things that you don't understand yet that are going to prevent you from basically getting that hockey stick yield curve that you were going to think you're going to get. It doesn't mean don't take action and don't go do that thing. Just go into it knowing that this is going to take longer. It's going to be harder, but it's going to be so much more rewarding at the end of the day, because the prize is not in the end goal or in the destination. The prize is in the journey. It's about who you become, how you as a person grow over the course, both in the things you know, in the people you meet, the relationships you form, and how you as a person react to adversity. So go out there, look for those opportunities, go into it with big old grain of salt, but take action, move the ball forward, and remember to keep growing that wealth brick by brick. Thanks for tuning in to Brick by Brick Wealth Building Conversations. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. It helps more people find the show. For more tips, resources, and updates on my journey, follow me on Invest with Lauren. Let's keep building wealth, one brick at a time. See you next week.